Welcome back to the Scotti-BYTE channel, and this is Scott. Well, on March the 26th, they released Incus version 0.7, and we've been running version 0.6 for quite a while now. So in the release notes, it says version 0.7 has been released as of March 26, 2024. And it says it's going to be our last release before Incus version 6.0. Yes, you heard correctly. They're going to go from version 0.7 to version 6.0. And for my subscribers that I've spoken to personally, we've had the discussion that really Incus 0.6 was 0.6 above LexD version 5.2. And that made it kind of Incus version 5.8. So now they're resolving this, and next week or so, we're going to be going to version 6.0 of Incus. But for right now, we have a version 0.7, and upgrading Incus is very easy. All you have to do is do an sudo apt update and a sudo apt upgrade, and your apt package for Incus will be upgraded unless you are running an Incus version for another OS. Okay, so there's a lot of new features here, but not a huge amount of new features. There's some network integrations which really apply to clustering. I haven't had a hardware for a test environment to build a cluster, so I have not reviewed clusters. There's a new image server management tool. Apparently, you're allowed to now create your own image servers and manage them separately from the Incus server, it looks like. There are two mechanisms for remote automation, TLS certificates, certifications, and OpenID. On the channel before, I've talked about how to create TLS certificates for remote management, and that's exactly what we do with Lex Console when I've done my video on the web interface for Lex Console. And then we have the OIDC username information that's for the other mechanism. NUMA handling for virtual machines, which is something that I haven't done that's really for larger scale implementations. We've got more options to select USB devices. So this is kind of significant. I've covered connecting USB devices to a LexD container in the past, and it's the same for connecting a USB device to a Incus container. However, if you have two devices, let's just say two thumb drives that happen to have the same vendor ID and product ID, there was no way to differentiate them, so you could only connect one of them. And now what they're doing is they're adding a bus number, a device number, and a serial number to the parameters that you use when you connect a USB device, if so needed. And then we have some disk I/O throttling for VMs, which was a long time in coming. It's limits.write and limits.read for the CPU settings. And then we also have per remote client certificates. And I'm not sure where this really falls in place. I'm going to have to play around with this a little bit to discover what I can do with it. They're also allowing you to generate a client certificate key pair. And I imagine this will be convenient for allowing clients to connect to the server a little bit more straightforward. We're going to find out about that, I imagine. And then this is kind of a big surprise because all the release note information kind of said that LexD to Incus migration tool wasn't really going to be around much past when LexD went past version 5.2, and they weren't really sure. So here they're saying that the LexD to Incus tool has been evolving with version 5.21, and so it looks like the Incus LXD to Incus migration tool is going to be around for a while afterwards, which I think is a good thing. It'll encourage more people to move over from LXD to Incus. And then they have this workload migration tool called Incus-Migrate. I've really not looked into that. I may have to review that and see if it's something that we need to discuss on the channel. And then we have some additional image restrictions, switches basically they have. And they are, I don't know much about these, but I'll have to look into that. So as we move down here, we have installing the Incus server on Linux. I'm gonna circle back to that. And then we have the homebrew package for the Incus client, which is if you have a Mac and you want an Incus client on your Mac, then you would go off and follow those instructions. And then we've reviewed this one on the channel. In fact, I had a video that was discussing the Incus client, not server, but Incus client for Windows, and that uses a Chocolatey package. So this is the upgraded Chocolatey package. I will probably do a video and review that. And then they also now have a WinGet package for the Incus client. So before we needed to use Chocolatey, it now sounds like they have a WinGet package in addition to that. So if we jump over here to installing the Incus server on Linux, there are a number of packages. They now have an Arch package, Debian, Fedora, Gentoo, NixOS, Ubuntu, and Void Linux. And then, of course, the two Homebrew and Incus, or Homebrew and Chocolatey packages that I mentioned for Mac and Windows, but those are clients only and not servers. And then, of course, you have the ability to do an installation from source. And as we run over here to the releases screen, they have a punch list of all of the things that you can see in Incus version 0.7. And it's a lot of what I showed on that other page, but you can go down and just look at the individual information. So anyway, that's it for today. Please subscribe and like to the channel, and we'll see you guys next time.